Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in for this video. Today we're going to be talking boondocking, basically for beginners. I want to let you know right off the bat, there will be links for everything we discussed down in the description. So if you need to get more information on items, they'll be all down there. Alright, so with that said, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, maybe hit that like button, and help more people find this video. So let's talk some boondocking. When we first set off on this adventure, I already knew I wanted to do some boondocking. I spent a lot of money buying solar and all that stuff, but unfortunately we ran out of time, never got it installed. So what I envisioned in my head and what we're actually doing, two different worlds. But we've improvised, and so far what we're doing is working pretty good. You might be asking, what is boondocking? Well, boondocking comes in many forms. For some people, boondocking is just spending the night at a Walmart or like a Bass Pro Shops, a rest area. To other people, that's not boondocking at all. That's parking lot docking, I think they call it. For me, what boondocking is when you're out on public lands, you have no hookups, you're totally self-contained, and you're basically free camping. So it's a lot more deep than that, but basically, if you have to plug into electric, hook up to a water spigot, or hook up a sewer hose, you are not boondocking. So at this point, you're probably either thinking, no thanks, or tell me more. Well, if you are of the no thanks crowd, hear me out. Might be able to change your mind, maybe not, but there's going to be some value here for you, and I promise you it's not as scary as it might sound. First step, finding boondocking spots. When we first started out, what we did is we downloaded the most popular apps, which are like Campendium, FreeRoam, iOverlander, and pick any one, open it up, go to the area you're thinking about visiting, and click on what the options that are available. Read the reviews. The reviews are your lifesaver. When you go through the reviews, you'll see that everyone boondocks, from people in tents to vans to motorhomes to campers like we have. So just because a spot says you can boondock there doesn't mean you can boondock there. It's going to vary on what kind of rig you have. Some boondocking spots are only going to be good enough for a person in a 4x4 truck who's sleeping in a tent on the ground. Other spots, you might be able to get a van in there. Some spots, like where we are right now, anything could be here, from Class A to our fifth wheel, down to people in tents. So the reviews are where you're going to learn this information. The reviews are also going to tell you about obstacles you might have to face. So like for instance, where we are right now, a lot of reviews mentioned soft sand. So when we were coming in, it got dark. We made the decision we were not going to come in here in the dark, never been here before. So we boondocked at a casino for one night, then came in the morning so we could evaluate the situation safely. Now what I do is I go on the apps, find the area I'm interested in, read the reviews. If I find a spot I like, I'll go ahead and I'll open it in Google Maps, and I'll turn on the satellite imagery, and I'll explore the area with the satellite images. By doing that, it gives me a little bit better understanding of where we're going. If I still like it, then I will take the GPS coordinates from Google and I'll upload those into my onX app. Now onX has a variety of apps. There's onX Hunt, there's onX Off-Road, and there's also onX Backcountry. I have both the Hunt and the Backcountry. They basically do the same thing. What I'm interested in with this is is this spot public or private land? And it's important. And here's a perfect example where we are right now. When you come in here, the road on the left side of the road is all BLM, it's all public. But the right side of the road is almost all private. All those people over there boondocking right now, almost all of them are trespassing on private land. So I don't know how many times I've opened up my onX with the coordinates for a spot that I saw in one of the apps, and it was either private or on the boundary of private. The last thing you want is a knock at the door at 2 in the morning from the sheriff writing you a ticket for trespassing. So it's important to have some sort of app or map, something that will show you if that is private or public land. Another thing I like about the onX is you can save them for offline use. A lot of times when you boondock, there is no cell service. So being able to pull up that map as you're coming in the area and already have spots marked, knowing that they're on public is huge. So you got all that done, you found your spot, you're good to go, it's on public. Don't rely on one spot. Have backup plans. You should have a plan A, a plan B, a plan C, and probably even a plan D, because we've had to use plan D before. It's only happened once, but we've had to use plan D. You just want to make sure you have a backup plan. So like for instance, where we are right now, if this place would have been full and we wouldn't have been able to stay here, plan B, there's a campground down the road, we would have went there. Looking at the reviews, that campground's never full, so I didn't bother with a plan C or D because I knew plan B was probably bulletproof. Thankfully we didn't have to use it, but we had it in case we did. Boondocking requires some prep work. Don't just show up and be like, hey, everything's great. It's important that you show up with empty tanks, but full fresh water and propane. Sometimes it's a long drive to get to those things. A lot of people say they like to wait and get water at the closest place to where they're going to be stopping, so they don't carry all that weight with them. I think that's a bad idea. And I usually like to get water at the soonest place possible, so I know I have it. This place is another great example. There's water here, a few miles up the road. But if that water source was turned off or under construction or just removed, then we have a problem, because the next water source is 40 minutes back the other direction. I would hate to drive all this way here, get here, no water, and then have to backtrack to get water. So I would rather just carry the extra weight and know I have it than gamble. So for me, I'm getting water as soon as possible. When you boondock, water conservation is a real thing. Depending on the size of your rig, it's going to determine how many gallons of water you can carry. You know, someone in a van or in a tent might only have 5 to 10 gallons. where somewhere in a Class A could have up to, I don't know, 180. And your black and gray tanks, are limited as well. So like for us, we have 52 gallons of fresh water, and our black and gray tanks each hold 40 gallons. So we can usually go 5 to 7 days. We could probably do some more things to go longer, but for us, 5 to 7 days is a pretty good number. We're usually ready to move by that point. They do make devices that you can use to extend your stay. They make water bladders that you can just leave in the back of your truck, go fill those up, and then come back and transport those to your tanks. They make poop caddies that you dump your black and gray tank into, and then you take that to go dump so you don't have to move your rig. These are all things that'll help extend your stay. If we had either one of those, we could easily probably go 10 to 14 days before actually having to leave, if not longer. So it all depends on how much stuff you want to carry and how much time you really want to spend out there will determine what you should have. A little bit of how we do things. We only use our freshwater tank for taking showers, flushing the toilet, and basically washing our hands and dishes. We use bottled water for cooking, drinking, and brushing our teeth. We also have a 6-gallon water jug and a little 1.5 gallon water container with the little nozzle that we use only in emergencies. The 6-gallon jug for flushing the toilet, and the little jug with the nozzle for washing our hands in the event our water tank goes dry. That'll get us about another 24 hours. So they don't take up hardly any room. Convenient. When you're boondocking, you need a way to charge your battery or batteries, depending on how many you have. Like I said, we didn't get our solar installed like I wanted, so we brought one collapsible panel with us, which we leave out all day. It keeps our battery topped off all day long, and then we have the generator. We run at night for a few hours to watch TV and charge devices and do all that kind of stuff. Your battery on your rig, depending, is needed for lights, the furnace, the radio, and then we need the generator for like the microwave, for power outlets, TV, all that other stuff. So depending on how much consumption, you might need more, you might need less. Since we're talking about the generator, let's go ahead and start talking about some boondocking etiquette. Don't run your generator all night long. Don't run your generator all day long. People like to boondock because it's quiet. It's super quiet. No one wants to hear a generator run all day, or especially all night. So for us, it's off before 9 p.m. every night. If we need it in the morning, we'll fire it up in the morning. I usually like to wait and not start it no earlier than 8 a.m. But I would say 7 is earliest. Another thing is your outside lights. Do not leave your outside lights on all night. Turn them off. No one wants to see your blaring LED lights all night long. We have some LED rope lights that go on the ground. Those are more than fine. We leave those on. They're not bothering anyone. If you need to go outside and do something, by all means, go ahead, turn on your outside lights. Do what you gotta do. Back inside, turn them off. There's absolutely no light pollution out here. So when you come outside at night, you can see every star in the sky. Again, that's why people are out here. Don't take that away from them. Another thing, please pick up after your dogs. Do not leave dog poop laying all over the ground. It's easy enough to pick up. We carry a little trash can that sits outside. And it's for the dog poop. Dog goes to the bathroom, we pick it up in the bag, tie the bag shut, put it in the garbage can. When we take the trash out, it goes in there and it's gone. So when we leave this spot, the next person who stays here is going to find a spot with no dog poop, no trash. It's going to be as good, if not better, than when we got here. When we arrived at this spot, there was some dog poop on the ground, but when I went to help the neighbor set up her spot, there was dog poop everywhere. There's no excuse for that. Pick up your trash. I found a lot of bottle tops here, broken glass. I don't know what it is with broken glass, but it seems like everywhere we go boondock, broken glass is an issue. Stop it. I don't know what is the desire for breaking glass. People come out here with their pets and their kids. No one wants to get cut and have to go to the emergency room. So let's just stop with the trash. And the last thing on etiquette we're going to talk about is try not to set up too close to other people. Usually when people go boondock, they do it because they want to be spread out. They want to be away from people. So don't take that away from them. If you are a little bit more scared about being isolated, things like that, look for groups of people. I think everywhere we've been so far, we've seen the people who are spread out, but then also like little pockets of people who are all together. Set up by them. Some people are the more the merrier. If you're not 100% sure, just stop and ask them. Hey, do you mind if I set up by you guys? I promise you, they're not going to say no. They're not going to care one bit. They're definitely the more social people. When you show up and you see that guy off by himself, leave him alone. Don't go set up by him. Find a good spot for you and enjoy it. Since we're talking about, maybe you don't feel comfortable being out there by yourself, so let's talk a little bit about security. We have boondocked all over the West. We've been close to the Mexican border. We've been in some spots that didn't have a very good feel, but we've always taken good precautions. We have a hitch block for our fifth wheel. So if we go explore, when we come back, our fifth wheel won't be gone. It'll be there waiting for us. We have Ring cameras that run off solar that will alert us if any person or anything is around the camper. When you boondock, you are out in nature, so there are animals, and it's good to know that they're there. We chain up our generator and our gas cans. With fuel prices being as high as they are, gas cans seem to walk away, but like I said, we keep ours chained down with the generator, so they're going to be there when we need them. And lastly, the elephant in the room, firearms. It seems like pretty much everyone out here is carrying some sort of firearm, some more than others. I have no opinion on it. My only thing is, if you're going to have a firearm, please know how to use it, practice with it, be safe. That's all I ask. So that is basically it for basics of boondocking. I mean, to recap, real simple: have a plan, have a backup plan. Make sure your tanks are empty. Make sure your propane and your fresh water is topped off. If you're running a generator, make sure you have fuel. Make sure you have groceries. When you get to your location, you want to be able to park and not have to leave for however many days, unless it's to go sightsee. We are on day 3 here, and we haven't left the camper. So, just to give you an idea. Find a good spot, preferably away from others. Clean up after yourselves and your pets, and enjoy the scenery. You know, there's a lot of benefits to boondocking, and in my opinion, not having to pay for camping fees is definitely up there. There's conveniences to campgrounds, of course. You know, full hookups are great. Trust me, I love full hookups. But that usually comes with close neighbors, barking dogs for sure, kids running around. So this is a great alternative for us. We've been here for 3 days. It's so quiet, a little bit windy, real windy the last couple of days, but so peaceful, beautiful dark skies, lots of stars. The pros outweigh the cons. So with that said, if there's anything you'd like me to go into more detail on, leave a comment down below. Let me know. I'm already planning on doing another video going into more detail on how to find boondocking spots, how I go about doing it, and kind of step by step to research everything I do to find them. So that video will be coming. Hit that subscribe button so that when that video drops, you're alerted. And until next time, guys, thanks for watching. I appreciate it.